Hello again. It's a fairly new concept, but today we're quote-unquote reviewing this item right here. This is a plant pal box. A fairly small one, to be honest. It might be because the dimension it came from was small, but I don't actually know. All I know is that it's a test version, and it does something completely new to the Plant Pal series. Normally I wouldn't do this, but the company which has supported me in making demon stuff also happens to have a whole bunch of Plant Pal ferns in their offices, which means that they're more than happy to test new products where testing is due. But let's move on from that. See, what you're supposed to do with these, apparently, is get 2 cotton buds and an average sized pot, and put the small, weird fleshy thing that they seem to be producing inside of it, between the 2 pieces. You then put this strange packet of stuff on top of the growing bulb, or at least that's what they told me to do. The company that makes these is called FAPS, and I'm pretty sure it's a genetic editing facility because these things don't look like they grow naturally. Trying to find out exactly what the company FAPS isn't really a very easy process, mainly because it seems to control many companies, and none of those companies seem to be in this dimension. Ah, here we go. Apparently this weird liquidy stuff is called liquid tripe. I don't know what that means or where that comes from, but it looks useful. Just looking at this fleshy object, you can see that there's quite a lot going on in its genetic design that wouldn't really be evolved normally. It seems like the old plant pal models actually worked within soil. So this one is probably something new to do with its growing stage. As you can see, you just surround the fleshy thing in cotton buds and you add the strange growing material on top of it. What you should avoid with Plant Pal is killing the thing, because apparently that makes them angry. You might also want to stop it from getting your personal information as well, as that seems to be another problem. Seemingly you just leave it here until it does something, and then marvel at the results. Which brings me to what's different about this model. I read the weird little leaflety thing, and apparently it's meant to change itself compared to the genetic material around it, or just whatever piece of flesh you can find. So for example, you could put a steak next to it, and you would have a steak plant, or a human hand, and you'd have a human hand plant, which actually isn't really very far from what they've made to begin with, so I wouldn't suggest it. So, as you can see, it grew something. Something really weird. I don't understand what's going on here. It seems to be exactly what I put around it, but something's different about the actual build. For one, the eyes don't seem to react to anything. The fingers don't move. I assume it's just a lump of clay, essentially. It just changes its design based on whatever it can find. So I assume that if you put a human next to it, it would morph into a human. Which is pretty unusual, but I think that can be lived with. In conclusion, I guess if you have money that came from this dimension, and you think the company isn't going to absorb your soul or something, then you could buy this product. If you want any more context on this product, then I guess you could watch Will McDaniel, one of the only other living things I can find that even understands these strange creatures.